And we've got a lot to cover. All right, so 15 seconds. All right. 5.
On the air, it's 1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, yes. Welcome to the program. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio this year. We've got a lot to cover. What did you watch last night? Did you watch the town hall on Fox News with President Trump, or did you watch the CNN debate with Nikki Haley and Ron DeSanctimonious? You know, there's a lot to cover on this. A lot has happened yesterday. I'm going to talk about the Hunter thing, too. Don't worry. We've got a lot to cover in less than 3 hours to do it because it's already 7 minutes into the first hour. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll get to some calls after the first break at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Now, you know, the town hall last night, it was a very interesting thing. I got some clips of President Trump that I want to play for you, and then we'll talk about. But President Trump actually made some very big news in the town hall last night. He actually said he has already decided who his running mate, who his vice president for his second term will be. And, you know, I got to tell you, typically vice presidential picks mean nothing. A long time ago, vice presidents were important because they were used by the candidate to bring in a state or a region or something. Like Kennedy picked Johnson so he could get the Democrats in the South that hated the Northern Democrats, okay? You know, things like that. But there's been so much migration in this country, I don't think we have the regional state loyalties that were relevant back then. I just don't think those things apply too much anymore. And whoever the vice presidential pick is for a president doesn't typically matter. President Trump's second pick is possibly incredibly significant because that person could very well walk into the nomination. And that's significant. But I'll tell you this, I don't care who he picks, I'm still supporting him. If Donald Trump picked Hillary Clinton or Mike Pence to be his running mate, I wouldn't care. I'm voting with Trump no matter what. We're going to have to follow Trump's lead. He very well may pick someone that you don't like, right? Like, I'm very suspect of Vivek Ramaswamy still. I don't care what anyone says. I think he is a Soros agent, and George Soros is weaseling his way into the MAGA movement with Vivek Ramaswamy. But if Trump picks him, hey, I'll be on the Trump-Vivek train, no doubt about it, okay? So, you know, that's important. Also, don't assume that whoever the vice president is in Trump's second term will be the second MAGA president in 2028. I wouldn't assume that. There seems to be a new trend. It started with Biden getting passed over for the nomination after his second term as vice president. So, you know, there could be a totally different person other than Trump's running mate who will be our nominee and the second MAGA president in 2028. But let me play the clip. This is President Trump in the Fox News town hall with Bret Baier, Martha McCallum, when he dropped some major news that he's already decided who his running mate will be. And by the way, he doesn't say who or give any hints, but I have a question after.
Who would be in the running for vice president?
Well, I can't tell you that, really. I mean, I know who it's going to be.
Give us a hint.
We'll do another show sometime.
Well, what about any of the people who you've run against? Would you be open to mending fences with any of them?
I will. I've already started to like Christie better.
Christie for vice president?
I don't see it. That would be an upset. Christie for vice president. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce now.
Okay, so we know it's not going to be Chris Christie, but who it is, we don't know. He's already decided. So I want to throw this out to you guys. and I want to be very specific about this question. Who do you think President Trump has already decided will be his vice president in his second term? And I'd like to hear your thoughts on this at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Now, I don't want to hear your wish list. Who do you realistically think he has picked? And I'm going to, as you call in today, I'm going to take note of who that is. And maybe at the end of the show, we'll add everything up and see where everyone thinks he's going. I don't think it's going to be a normal type of pick. You know, the second term of President Trump is so important. He has 4 short years, right? 4 short years. He's got a lot to do in those 4 short years. And the person he picks may be very different. Like, for example, Greg Abbott is most definitely on the list of people that are strong possibilities. President Trump's first and most important priority, he talked about this in the town hall, I'll play some audio of this later, but his first and most important priority is, 1, shutting down the border, getting South America in line, and to me, South America begins at Mexico. I know technically and geographically it doesn't, but, Latin America. And the mass deportation that he promises he's going to bring of all these illegals that have been coming here during the and I say O'Biden not by mistake, during the O'Biden regime, Obama-Biden, okay? So that's something that is certainly in the expertise of Greg Abbott. And he very well may bring in someone like Greg Abbott just to oversee the shutdown of the border, the completion of the wall, and the massive deportation, because this is something he has an expertise in since he's been dealing with it in such incredible detail and with success in Texas. I'm not saying that's going to be his pick or that's who I think he has picked, but I'm telling you that is a realistic choice for a very good reason that is a little unusual for a running mate, right? I mean, that's a very important thing. So, there's a lot of other people that it could quite possibly be, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on now remember, President Trump said he's already made the decision. So who do you think he has chosen? And I want to hear a wish list. Who do you think he has realistically chosen to be his running mate? And also, do you think he's told that person already? Have they already had meetings and have talked about it and it's been decided? All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our calls after the break, and there's a lot more to discuss from both that pathetic debate last night with Haley and DeSantis, the great town hall with President Trump, and there were some other things in the news, too, we're going to discuss. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number is toll-free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get
All right, hold on. I'm still getting organized here. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let me see here. All right, hold on. Awesome. Okay. I just got a new special from Mike Lindell, and I was just checking it out. I went through the checkout process and bought another one for myself. I wanted to make sure. They told me it was coming this week, and I wanted to make sure that it was available. All right. Before I told you guys, well, listen, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everyone like the video. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. I've been up since I don't know what time. I mean, if you caught my live stream from home this morning, oh, you guys can watch that. What happened to me this morning was so bizarre, but you can watch that stream later. It was a good stream. We'll be back shortly. All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. During the break, I just bought myself 2 new MyPillow 2.0s. And the MyPillow 2.0s are the huge deal. I got a call from Mike Lindell's office yesterday, and they told me that this was coming, but it wasn't, I didn't think, going to start until tomorrow, and it started a day early. And I checked it out during the break and bought 2 more. Listen, this is an incredible deal. The MyPillow 2.0 is 50% off and free shipping. You heard me right, 50% off the MyPillow 2.0 and free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Now, this is a huge deal. You know, the MyPillow 2.0, I've been sleeping on it for about a year now. Got it when we got back from our cruise. We got back from the cruise like the first week in February. I got it that week. And the 2.0, it's the pillow with the temperature regulating technology. Your head, your face, your neck will never get warm. You'll never turn the pillow over looking for the cool side again with the MyPillow 2.0. My wife tells me, and I've heard this from some of our lady listeners, that it is perfect for women who are going through menopause. All those night sweats and everything, it's very helpful for that. So the MyPillow 2.0, 50% off and free shipping. I just bought 2 myself. They come in both king and queen sizes, and you can decide the fill level, right? How soft or hard you like your pillow. So our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, buy yours. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi, Brian. It's Roz. How are you?
Oh, hey, Roz. What's up?
I got a couple things to say. First, I want to say Melania's mother died last night.
It's a couple nights ago.
Yeah, I just want to say sorry to her and the Trump family, and I'm praying for them.
Absolutely.
As far as you talking about, did he already talk to the vice president and seal everything? I think he did. Now, do you want me just to give one name or...
Well, you can give me, I want names. Now, for people that are just tuning in, last night on the Fox News town hall, President Trump said he's already decided who his running mate's going to be. So, yeah. So I want you guys to let me know who you think he's picked, and I don't want to hear wish lists. I want, like, who is he realistically picked? Oh, yeah, go ahead, tell me.
Okay, it's a tie between Elise Stefanik and Kristi Noem.
Kristi Noem. Okay. All right. Now, why do you pick those 2? I wrote them down on my list.
I just got the feeling about Elise Stefanik this morning because it was on a news report that she said that if the elections are not fair, she's
yeah. Yeah.
She's a very serious worker, and she's all for Trump.
I would tell you that out of those two, Kristi Noem is the more likely. Okay, now with there are some exceptions. Very few presidents come from Congress. Okay, I know there's some exceptions, but in the rare instances when presidents come from Congress, they typically come from the Senate. I, off the top of my head, cannot think of someone that came from through the election process who came from the House.
And more towards Kristi Noem, but I also recognize Elise Stefanik.
Well, the thing, most presidents, not all, come from governors. And if you go back in time, okay, George W. Bush was a governor, right? Before George W. Bush, we had Bill Clinton was a governor. Ronald Reagan was a governor,
Definitely don't think it's going to be Vivek. Not at all. Not at all.
I'm going to stand by whoever Trump picks. I don't care if he picked Bill Clinton. I would stand by him. Okay, but the problem is, I believe, and I stand by this, that Vivek Ramaswamy is a Soros agent, and it's Soros trying to infiltrate the MAGA movement. I believe that in my heart, but I'm going to always stand by Trump. And if Trump's going to make decisions and well, he's going to pick people based on things that we may not understand. He may pick people because he's got to do something and to get something.
Different, because if you remember in the town hall last night, he says, now I know in Congress who's weak, who's bad, good. So he knows now.
Yeah, he does.
He's a different person now.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. All right, well, yeah, all right, that's it. Well, thanks so much, you guys. I'll put you down for 2. All right, take care. Okay. Oh, you were watching my live stream this morning from home.
I watched them both yesterday and today.
I appreciate it. All right, take care. This morning I had a weird thing happen. I got up, and I got out of bed. I took a shower, got dressed. I did all my show prep, which is very extensive in the morning. All the audio sound bites I have, and I got it every day, and I got a lot of them today from the debate and the town hall. I take those sound bites, I edit them and everything, and it's on top of reading through all the news. So it's pretty extensive. And when I finished my show prep, for the first time, I looked at the clock on my computer screen. It was 2:34 in the morning. I couldn't believe. I don't know what time I got up, but I very unusual. I got up really super early. I don't know if I was up at 1 in the morning or something. I don't know, but I've been up because I didn't pay attention. I just got up and did my stuff, so I've been up for a long time, obviously. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling? And I was done with my work so early, I went and did a YouTube live stream on my back porch at 3 a.m. It was with my cat. It was very strange. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is me.
Oh, hey, Richie.
I feel I really know who he's going to pick because
all right.
I'm thinking who he doesn't want anyone from Washington D.C. because he thinks it's a swamp. Who does he trust? Who's loyal? And then I saw an interview with Eric Bolling about a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago, and I believe it's going to be, and because she said she would be loyal, he's going to want a woman. He's going to want a woman that was in business, who's strong. Kristi Noem is going to be his.
Kristi Noem, okay, I'll put that down. So Kristi Noem's got 2 votes.
But she was questioned, and she's had a smile come on her face and said, "I'll do anything to help President Trump." That's number one. Now I want to throw in real quick. I watched the CNN debate last night, the whole thing. Then as I go to sleep, I put on my lawyer friend that I listen to every night. He's got a podcast. He's into politics, and he did it. He had the same thing. He had the CNN debate, but then he had a poll on the bottom of the poll. If you want to switch over to President Trump, this was, 75% of the people have forced this guy to get off of that, go to President Trump.
Wow.
So that's, to me, that's the most honest poll you could ever put.
The debate, I watched them both, okay? I was up so early, why not? But the debate was just stupid between the two of them. It's like a mock debate. It was a joke.
Yeah, now here's the thing. He came on last night. I'm sure you must have heard this. The Chris Christie deal.
Oh, the hot mic thing? Yes. Mm-hmm.
That is the end of. You kept saying yesterday that what's the phrase from South Carolina is stupid.
Yes.
He said right there, she's in over her head. That tells me everything I need to know, that she is too dumb to do this. But he was saying, that was to me that hot mic moment was.
Being in state government is the minor leagues. Being on the national stage like Nikki Haley has been is the pros. And she's, Nikki Haley, and this is a reality. Nikki Haley got where she is. I've talked about this a lot, but I'll give you the capsulized Reader's Digest version. When Obama was elected in 2008, the Republican Party immediately went out and started elevating any Republican who was not white to positions they weren't qualified for, and there were several disasters. Bobby Jindal, he gave the response to Obama's first State of the Union. It was one of the most embarrassing moments on television. Marco Rubio was promoted to senator. He did a response to an Obama debate. It was a disaster. Michael Steele Black was made the head of the RNC. He's a liberal now on him. So Nikki Haley was an affirmative action quota by the Republican Party in the Obama era, and she got where she is because she's a woman and non-white, and she's an unqualified person. She's textbook affirmative action, and she's too dumb to know it. She thinks she's an accomplished woman. I got a clip of her. I don't know if I'll play it today. She said that she was inspired to get into politics by Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, and check this out. Chris Christie lied to the American people and duped us like we're stupid people. He knows as a governor that the governor has to give permission for the National Guard to go down. Yet he said President Trump did nothing. He's a damn liar. He's a sore loser, and he's a late project failure.
You're talking about January 6th. Listen, the Capitol, when I say the Capitol building and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., it's not a state. And the reason that the District of Columbia is not a state is because if it were, that would mean like the local governor and would be in charge of the president. You know what I mean? They'd have authority over our president. But Congress is in charge of the District of Columbia. Okay, there's a congressional committee that's in charge of the District of Columbia, not the local government. And the Capitol grounds itself is under the realm of the Speaker of the House. And the president cannot send in the National Guard. If there was a riot in Miami today, like those kids with the sticks that they talk about, the space alien thing, Biden couldn't send in the National Guard unless DeSantis requested it. We found this, realized how bad it gets after Katrina hit Louisiana, hit New Orleans. So, I don't understand what I thought when you said he lied, Chris Christie, I thought you meant when he had that stomach surgery to lose weight. Because he obviously didn't work if he had it.
No, and that hot mic deal just told me everything I need to know about Chris Christie, but it also told me everything I need to know. And out of the two that are running against Trump, if I was going to pick one, I hate to say this, I'd take DeSantis because I think she's a little cheap.
But your vote, though, for vice president, you think he's already picked no?
I'm positive of it. I am so positive that I bet money on it.
Okay, all right, take care. All right, I got to run. We're very late for the break. Richie the bus driver. Okay, Christy Nome has 2 votes at this point. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
All right, Christy Nome has 2 votes. I think Christy Nome's going to win it. All right. Where are we? Here we are. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and everyone like the video. When you guys like the video, it helps spread the word about the channel. And I want to tell you guys, Valentine's Day is coming up. What a great Valentine's Day gift the Mighty Mega Lion is. Oh, man. The Mighty Manga Lion, there's a link in the video description, or you can go to the website, mightymangalion.com. This is the perfect gift for Valentine's Day. The Mighty Manga Lion is available exclusively through me. You cannot get this anywhere else. mightymangalion.com. If you buy more than one, you get a discount. Okay, so if you buy 2 or 3, you get a discount. mightymangalion.com. There is a link in the description. This is a great Valentine's gift. I promise you, whoever your Valentine is, male or female, they will love the Mighty Manga Lion. Online at mightymangalion.com. Order yours, guys. Absolutely. Yes, yes. Oh, it's going to be a rough day for me. I had to have gotten up around 1 in the morning, 12:30 maybe, because I did a lot of show prep this morning. I did a lot of, I had to go through the town hall and edit all the audio out in the debate that I have, and just I may have been up since 12:30. I'm not sure what time I got up. I have no idea. You guys ever do that? You wake up and then you like get ready for work and do all your stuff, and then you realize you're up hours early. That's what happened to me. Ugh. It's awful. I don't know how I do it either, Deborah. And I got a long day today. A long day. And that's even a long day before I get to the podcast. Werewolf Manjackal, I mean, I don't want to have to block you, but my goodness. Get under control. Exactly. Weirdos. Got my Apple Watch on today. I know I've shown this to you guys, but I've got the best Apple Watch cover of anyone ever. Doesn't get better than that. Whoop, hold on. There. Got to hit the code. I hate that I got to put in the passcode. There we go. President Trump. That's the best. And if you look, he's pointing right at the time. Yeah, this is the one that they don't have the tech for anymore. That this Apple Watch is the one that gives your blood oxygen level. How many MAGAs are in jail? I don't know, but most everyone, if you went to the prisons where the violent criminals are, they're all Democrats. Right? Any MAGA people that might be in jail are in, like white collar. You go to any maximum security prison where they got the murderers and rapists and stuff like that, they're all Democrats. That's right. You know, the thing with this moon landing thing, this moon mission, if I were a private company and I was launching a moon mission, I would send it to the site of the first moon landing, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. You got to have it. You don't want to disturb the site, right? And just you got to have it far enough away. But then you have the motorized vehicle head over there and show us the footprints, the boot prints, to prove to everybody that it's real, right? That it really happened, that they were really there.
7 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Last night on the Fox News town hall, President Trump said that he's already chosen his running mate. He's already chosen his second vice president. And I'm asking you guys to call in and tell me, who do you think he's picked? Now, I'm not looking for your wish list, okay? I'm looking to who do you think he is realistically picked. Right now, Kristi Noem's in first place with 2 votes. And I think that's a very realistic pick. And also, do you think he has had the discussion with this person yet? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian.
Yes.
I'm calling from West Palm. I don't think he's going to get someone that's a swamp person, someone who's been in D.C. for a long time. But I do think he wants someone that has connections to D.C. because he's going to need things done in Congress. And I think the perfect person for him would be someone like Senator J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance. Let me write that on my list. J.D. Vance. Okay.
He's a senator. He's young. He's a fresh face. He's got a financial background. He's a Marine Corps veteran. He kind of dots all everything that you need, and I think it's good to have someone that does have some connection to Congress, but someone who hasn't been there for a while that is connected to.
Well, I've got two issues with J.D. Vance. Okay, now one that's positive is Ohio is necessary. No Republican has been elected without winning Ohio in a long time, if ever. So J.D. Vance helps with Ohio, which is very important. But there's 2 things about J.D. Vance, and I like him. I see him on TV a lot, and he's good. I like him. There's just 2 things I'm cautious about. One is he made his fame, fortune, and everything out in the Silicon Valley. You know what I mean? With those San Francisco tech people. And that I got to kind of keep an eye on him because of that. And his book, that hillbilly book, he wrote a book calling his whole family lineage white trash. I mean, he sold out his family with this hillbilly book. I don't know how trustworthy he is.
Well, that's because he's young. I think that's why you see him a little bit more being exposed to the media. He's popping up a lot in the media lately. I think he wants to. I think he wants to be known more, and I don't know. I have a feeling that it's going to be someone like that. But like you said, Ohio is very important, and he definitely is a new face. He's not a swamp guy, so we'll see.
Okay, J.D. Vance, I got him on the list. Thanks a lot. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Rabbi David.
Hey, Rabbi. What's up?
So what's your thought on this? Because I'm coming from a different angle. Maybe Trump doesn't have a specific person in mind, but he said that because he wanted to put it out there against these other Republicans running against him. It's not you.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a good point. And President Trump is brilliant at many things, but what I think he's best at is marketing, media messaging, and driving media narratives. And that town hall last night with Brett Baer and Martha McCallum, it was good, but the most memorable part of it is that he's already picked his running mate. So now people like me are going to spend all morning and all day talking about who it may be. So so what you're saying is maybe he dropped that also to try to get everyone talking about. Maybe he felt like the town hall didn't have any good news-making sound bites, and that would get everyone talking about it.
And by the way, even if he did, let's say he really did, like you said, he really knows who it's going to be. A regular person wouldn't drop that. he drops things for a reason. Even if he knows or doesn't
Oh, yes.
matter. The real question is, what he dropped it for a reason. And part of it could be because he wanted to let DeSantis know, hey, you're going to have to really grovel to come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll just come back. So Trump doesn't do anything just because, he just happened to flip it out there. He comes prepared. He knows, tonight I think I'm going to throw this out there and let them play with it a little.
And have people, he may be doing it also to do a public poll to see who's liked and who's not liked and why not.
He's doing it because he listens to your station.
That's right.
To hear what everybody's calling in about.
That's correct. All right, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Now, before I get back to the town hall and the news, somebody brought something up in the chat room during the break, and I'm going to mention this. I don't want to turn the whole show into this, but if you want to call on this, you're welcome to. This new moon mission has been a disaster. Okay. They had this moon lander, and they had these fuel issues, and there's no possibility of it making a soft landing now. So it's going to make a hard landing, which may destroy the probe, or certainly its abilities to do much. NASA has delayed their manned moon missions that they were talking about. And in the past, growing up, I never really was suspect of whether or not we went to the moon or not. But I have become skeptical. I'm not saying that I don't believe it, but I've become a skeptic. If 50 years, I think it's more, was the last landing in 73? When was the last Apollo landing on the moon? Was it 73? Over 50 years after the last manned moon landing, okay? After 50 years, you're telling me they just can't send up some unmanned probe without having problems? If I were one of these private companies that was sending a lander to the moon, my mission would be, now NASA probably would not let this happen if they could stop it, but my mission would be to land, and you have to do it far away with a rover. You have to do it miles away so you don't disturb the site, and send the rover to the site of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin's original moon landing, which is that Apollo 11? I think Apollo 11, and show the boot prints and everything so people know it happened or not. But when I see NASA delaying their moon missions, when I see this new lander have all these problems and it's a disaster, it makes me more suspicious as to whether or not they happened. I'm not saying they didn't, but I am certainly open to the possibility that because of the Cold War and everything, it very well may not have happened. And part of one of the things is not just all the thoughts of Stanley Kubrick. I know all that, and it may and there's a lot of realistic things about that. The Stanley Kubrick being behind it. Both Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went through years of depression. And if you look at Neil Armstrong's life after the moon landing, it was pretty non-eventful, wasn't it? So I don't know. Why were they so depressed? So anyway, I'm just very suspicious about this thing. All right, now we're going to take a break. When we get back, you're welcome to call on that, but I'm not going to continue about it on my own, about the moon landings. When I see that they have all these different landings are malfunctioning or being delayed, does it not make you suspicious as to whether or not the landings really happened? But after the break, I'm going to get back into the President's Town Hall. There was an amazing moment I'm going to share with you, and we'll get into the debates last night with DeSantis and Nikki Haley. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard.
Let me ask you guys in the chat, yes or no? Did we send men to the moon? I don't want to turn the whole show because there's a lot of news going on. Michael, thank you so much. He says you need someone who's got a bit of name recognition like Trump, who can successfully succeed him after his term is up. Noam doesn't have that gravitas to galvanize the base in 28. Well, it seems mixed. A lot of no's and a lot of yeses. It went too fast for me to count, but I would say it's pretty much dead even. Yeah. But I got to tell you, if you've never been to Kennedy Space Center or you have not been in years, you really should go. I did a YouTube video a couple years ago up there. It is spectacular what they've done. It is amazing. All right. Yeah, I got a lot of audio I got to get to. All right, welcome back. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, 48 minutes after the hour. It's Thursday, January 11th, 2024. President Trump said he has chosen his running mate. And so far, I'm asking people to call in. Who do you think he's chosen? We've got Stefanik and Noam with 1 vote, J.D. Vance with 1 vote. And then Rabbi David said he hasn't picked. He's just testing the waters. And I threw in a thing that he's just, President Trump dropped that to get everyone talking about it. Talking about the town hall, which I think is a possibility. Now, before I go back to the call, stand by, guys. I want to talk about William Youngerman, our gold and precious metals dealer. Oh, man. I just want to talk to you guys about fractional gold because, you know, when we talk about gold with William Youngerman, he gives us the price every day at the ounce because that's how it's done. But, you know, you don't have to buy gold in a full ounce form. There's fractional gold, and there are many of the mints, including the U.S. Mint, have fractional gold coins. You can buy half ounce, quarter ounce, even 1/10 ounce gold coins. They're absolutely amazing, and they're obviously more affordable. You know, the quarter ounce, I mean, think about this. You buy a quarter ounce every month. In 4 months, you've got a full ounce of gold. Same goes with the 10th ounce. You buy a 10th ounce of gold, very affordable, especially with William Youngerman. After 10 months, you've got a full ounce of gold. And it's really an affordable way to get involved with gold, the only real money out there. Now remember, William Youngerman, no matter where you're located, you can do all your transactions over the phone. Even if you're local and you can't make it into his shop in Boca, if you're in the Treasure Coast, if you're in Miami and Palm Beach, somewhere else in Florida, or maybe you're in Boca and you're just too busy to make it over, you can do all your transactions over the phone. He'll mail everything for you. It is insured as well, all right? And no matter where you are in America or the world, you can buy and sell with William Youngerman. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com to get his number. He opens up at 10 a.m. You can call him toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know what? Those two women sound fine, but what if there's somebody like, I don't know, he can trust that's been running this company like Devin Nunes?
Devin Nunes from he's running Truth Social. Oh, Is that realistic enough for me to put on the list? Should I? I'm going to ask you, Mike. Should I really put that on my list here?
I look at it like this.
I'll put it down there. I'll put it down. You said it. I'm not. It's your. Devin Nunes. What? Yeah. All right.
The experience of being in Washington, and Trump trusts him enough. He has to be able to trust this person enough to.
Devin Nunes is more of a chief of staff kind of guy to me, not vice president. I like him, but yeah.
And that's the thing. Now, you could be right about him throwing this out just to have people talk about it.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I was going to do something entirely different until I saw that in the town hall. And I was like, yeah, that should be like yeah. I don't like to talk about, to me, typically talking about who the running mate is going to be, and other than this election, is like those day after the Super Bowl when everyone on the radio has people call in about their favorite Super Bowl commercial. It's usually a topic that's a killing time topic, and I'm really reluctant to talk about it. The only reason I am now is because Trump's second vice president is important because he only has one term left. So there's an added importance to the vice president this time that we don't normally have, and that's why I'm talking about it today.
Right, and we know one thing. We know that it's not going to be anybody that's been on the stage for these debates.
I agree with that, and that includes Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, we look at what's his name, Chris Christie. We know why he was there, and we know what he feels about Trump. He's bitter about not being in Trump's first administration.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mike, take care. Good to hear from you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Katina from Baltimore.
Hey, Katina. How you doing?
Yeah, okay. My vote is for General Flynn.
Is that realistic?
Yeah, I think so, because he knows not only the intelligence communities, the law enforcement agencies, and what's the other one? Anyway, he's also very knowledgeable about the Obama administration.
Well, there's something about Flynn, okay, because when President-elect Trump met with President Obama at the White House in private, Obama told, and this has been widely reported, Obama told Trump, hire whoever you want in your administration except General Flynn. Trump walked out of the meeting and told him to call General Flynn. He's hired. Okay? And look what that was the beginning of a lot of trouble for President Trump. I'm not exactly sure what it is about General Flynn they don't like. I've heard he was critical of Obama. I don't know, is it that petty? But there's something about General Flynn that the DC insiders do not like.
He knows the DC insiders. The generals are very political.
Oh, yeah.
The insiders, he knows, and as a general, he knows how to get things done.
Yeah, those promotions at that level are all done through congressional committee. So everyone who's an admiral or a general in any branch is very political.
Exactly. But I think that he would be efficient. He would be great with getting the border under control. I mean, remember, the only other president that was able to do it was a general, and that was Eisenhower. He was the only one that evicted all the, he called them, what did he call them?
Operation Wetback.
Yeah.
No, it's true. They actually, President Eisenhower had a deportation policy. It was called Operation Wetback. That's not a joke or a slur. That was like the official name of it.
And I think that the problem we have with our administrations, too many civilians, and they don't understand how the agency...
What does that mean? You mean you want the military to run the government?
No. But he needs an insider with the intelligence communities, with the military, and law enforcement agencies. I think Flynn would straddle both sides, especially after, he had his romp in prison or whatever.
I have one pick for a cabinet position. Mike Lindell for Secretary of Commerce. How about that?
Fine.
Yeah. The thing about, I don't know how realistic. I put him on the list, okay, but because I'm not going to decide. You guys can pick who you want, but I don't think Flynn is a realistic pick.
Here's another thing, though. Not every time, but especially this morning, I mentioned Flynn in the pre-chat, and my comments weren't, they were erased. And I checked with, my...
Really? Well, wait a minute. The just... No, okay, let's just be clear, okay? In the mornings, before I leave my house, I set up my YouTube live stream, and there's a live chat there. When the live stream starts, that pre-chat is automatically wiped out every day. It doesn't continue as part of the chat with the video. So you're saying...
No. I should have taken a picture, and I will in the future. But the first comment was by someone by the name of a capital A. Commented. He said something like, it certainly won't be me or Bill Clinton. And then I said, my vote's for General Flynn. And then I think Anna came in, and she just said.
So you think that the tech overlords in the intelligence community deleted the Flynn?
Yeah, because I've been shadow banned from you.
Yeah, over Flynn? No. All right. Well, I got Flynn on the list. I mean, I out of everyone we have so far. These are what callers have mentioned: Stefanik, Noam, J.D. Vance, Devin Nunes, and Flynn. Noam has 2 votes, and I think out of the 5, I think Noam and J.D. Vance are the 2 most realistic.
Not to interrupt, and I know you got to go to a break, but the problem with Noam, MTG, and who's the other one? I don't know. Vivek. They have too much personality.
Showboaters.
Okay, yeah. And they're useful, and they're needed elsewhere. I mean, MTG's great. I'd love to see her be the replacement for Pelosi forever. I mean, she would be great.
Oh, yeah.
But there's another one, Gates. He could be a candidate, too.
Matt Gaetz?
Yeah. But I think he would be great as the governor of Florida. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. He would be very good. I know everyone's talking about Byron Donalds, but I think Matt Gaetz would be a great governor, too, because DeSantis. All right, Katina, I got to run. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Tracy, Boca.
Hey, Tracy.
Yeah.
All right.
I was thinking Noam because I feel like they're going to do DeSantis Haley ticket. So. Well,
Noam now has 3 votes. She's in first place. Everybody else only has 1. But let me ask you about Noam. I like Kristi Noem, and I know she kept. Is it South Dakota? She's governor. I always get North and South Dakota, but she's the governor of South Dakota. She kept South Dakota open during. But other than that, she's pretty and everything else. What's so spectacular about her? I like her, but why does everyone go to her? How much of it is because she's good looking, or was she done some things?
I think she's loyal to Trump.
She's loyal to Trump. Okay, all right, I'll give you that.
Loyalty
is important.
And that's also I would have said Flynn too. I like, but I've heard some shady stuff about him.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talk about Vivek, what I learned on your show about him being funded by.
Yep. Brother.
I can't find it on the internet.
Yeah, I know. Good luck. Yeah, I know. Listen, I got to run. We're up against the top of the hour. All right. Hey, listen, I got to run. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to an awesome start. On this Thursday, widespread scattered rains around the area. We're on the warm side of what's going to be another storm system moving through. So bottom line, just rains throughout today, a high of about 71. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture, Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, voted in the best of the best patio patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
I-95 heading north on Boynton Beach Boulevard. The right and left shoulder is blocked by an earlier multi-vehicle crash.
All right.
An accident blocking the right shoulder, 95 heading south on a Belvedere Road. Further south into Broward County, Pembroke Road at 145th Avenue, a crash there. This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. New year, new hiring needs. Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit. That's Drop from Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. It's showtime in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC. Check out the exciting 2024 lineup with fabulous dinner shows like Yellow Brick Road, a tribute to Elton John on January 20th, Portrait of Aretha, Chris McDonald's Valentine's Day Dinner, the Neil Diamond Experience, and Patty Nicks. Plus, comedians Harlan Williams, Joe DeVito, Adam Carolla, and Pauly Shore in April. For a full schedule and ticket information, visit pbkennelclub.com.
Oh, man. Now, guys, Valentine's Day, there's no better gift for Valentine's Day than a Mighty Mega Lion. These are available exclusively through me. And remember, this is the only Trump-inspired merchandise with the MAGA hat. Available at MightyMagaLion.com. There is a link in the description of the video as well, or just go to MightyMagaLion.com. If you order more than one, you get a discount. And whoever is your Valentine, they'll love their Mighty Mega Lion. So go to MightyMagaLion.com and order yours, all right? Remember, if you order more than one, you get a discount, all right? MightyMagaLion.com, and there is a link in the description of the video, guys. And he's cute, he's cuddly, just like Trump, and very high quality, very well made. I've been carrying that thing around for months, and he looks brand new, doesn't he? Absolutely. Looks great. Like the day he arrived. And they also come in a nice box that's perfect for gift wrapping.
Alexa, what's the longest running radio show in the state of Florida?
The Steve Kane Show, which has been on the air since 1977, is the longest running radio show in Florida.
No.
The Steve Kane Show, weekday mornings, right here on True Oldies. Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
Yep, my wife put the health app on my phone, so I can do my blood oxygen. Let's see what my blood oxygen level is. It takes 10. It's counting down. Hold as still as you can. Oh, that's hard for me to do. Blood oxygen level, 96%. That's good. Okay, what else does it do? How do I get to take my pulse? Oh, it's got a EKG thing on here. I did not know that. Okay. Let's go. Okay, doing the EKG now. Hold your finger on the... what? What does that mean? Hold your finger on the crown. Does that mean on the app here? I don't know what that means. Let me see if it'll do it. Hold your finger on the crown. Okay, I can't figure out how to get that one to work. All right, we are back. Oh, man, my wife got me, well, she got me this a while ago. I just never wear it, my Apple Watch, and it's got like an EKG on it. I've been taking my EKG during the break. I should take my EKG when I'm talking to some of these liberal callers, if I could figure out how to get that app to work. All right, okay. Welcome back, everyone. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And we've been talking about Trump's town hall last night on Fox News, which was spectacular. President Trump said that he has chosen who his vice president will be, and I'm asking people to call in. He said he's already made the decision. So who do you think he has picked? And here's who's been voted on so far. Stefanik, Noam, J.D. Vance, Devin Nunes, and General Flynn. And so far, Noam is in first place with 3 votes. Everyone else has 1. So if you'd like to call in, who was President Trump picked? And I'm looking for realistic picks. I don't think Devin Nunes or Flynn are realistic, but it's you guys, it's up to you to nominate who you think he's picked. So I'll write down who you say. Our number 1, 888-GO-CANE-1. Now, before we get back to the town hall, because I have a lot on that, I want to play this. I got highlights from this pathetic joke of a debate between DeSantis and Nikki Haley last night. I want to play some of this for you, then we'll talk about it. It's just a highlight reel. I didn't put this together. Someone else did.
We're going to see the fact that he has switched his policies multiple times, and we'll call that out tonight. But every time he lies, Drake University, don't turn this into a drinking game because you will be overserved by the end of the night.
By the way, who talks that way? You'll be overserved by the end of the night? What a normal real person would say is you'll be drunk, you'll be tanked, you'll be falling down. Who says you'll be overserved? But who's ever felt overserved, by the way? Not me, I'll tell you that. Especially on our cruises, which if you've been on the cruises, you probably noticed that. But the reason I share this debate last night served a real good purpose between Haley and DeSantis. This is what it used to be like in politics. Vacuous spokesmodels who have nothing but platitudes and scripted jokes and one-liners they're trying to get out.
Play this song and dance. She has a record. She makes statements. And I think part of the problem with her candidacy is now that she's getting scrutiny, she's got this problem with ballistic podiatry, shooting herself in the foot every other day.
Okay, she's got a problem with ballistic podiatry? Who talks this way? Who talks this way? You're shooting yourself in the foot, yeah. I mean, you see what I mean? Totally scripted one-liners. And what's frightening about this is how we used to pick our presidents, on who had the best delivered joke. Ugh. It's a joke that's how we used to pick them.
We even take questions from people.
We need to put 25,000 Border Patrol and ICE agents on the ground and let them do their job. We need to defund sanctuary cities once and for all. No more safe havens for illegal immigrants.
Okay. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. On this point, the problems facing the country, we've got a solution to every problem this country is facing, and it's a one-word solution. Trump. He's the solution to all these things. And as opposed to telling you what he's going to do, he's telling you what he's done.
Make sure we go back to the Remain in Mexico policy so that no one even steps foot on U.S. soil. And instead of catch and release, we need to go to catch and deport. That's the only way we'll stop the incentives of these illegal immigrants coming across. Biden turned...
Oh, now they're illegal. She said we shouldn't call them illegal. Now she says they are illegal.
500,000 Venezuelans temporary protective status. That's 500,000 driver's licenses, 500,000 social security numbers. All that does is incentivize them.
We're going to crack down on sanctuary states and sanctuary cities. And I showed the hypocrisy of all this back in 2022, because we have a program to transport illegal aliens to sanctuary jurisdictions. And one of the places we sent 50 to, beautiful, liberal Martha's Vineyard. And
Okay, I want to send the people not to another state. I want to send them back to Mexico or wherever their country of origin is.
Saying how they were a sanctuary jurisdiction, saying nobody's illegal, all refugees are welcome. That's what they had in their town. The minute even 50 came up, they called a state of emergency and deported them off the island the next day. How do you think Texas feels? How do you think all these other communities feel that are being overwhelmed? So we cannot have liberal elites in this country imposing policies on the rest of us that they are not willing to deal with the consequences of. I'm running because I'm the guy that's going to be able to engineer a comeback for this country. I appreciated what President Trump did, but let's just be honest. He said he was going to build a wall and have Mexico pay for it. He did not deliver that.
That's BS. First off, Mexico did pay for it. What do you think the renegotiation of NAFTA was all about? He did away with NAFTA and had that UMCA plan. That's how Mexico paid for the wall. That is not true what Ron DeSantis just said.
In the swamp, he did not deliver that. He said he was going to hold Hillary accountable, and he let her off the hook. He said he was going to eliminate the debt, and he added $7.8 trillion to the debt. So we need to deliver and get this stuff done. As Republicans, you need somebody that is going to be in there and fight for you. And Nikki Haley, anytime the going gets tough, anytime people come down, she caves. When you need someone standing and fight for you, don't look for Nikki Haley. You won't be able to find her if you had a search warrant.
When you look at Donald...
See, that, again, I'm almost done, so just bear with me. If you need to find her, you need a search warrant. Another pre-planned line that's supposed to be some soundbite that goes viral that everyone's talking about today. And look at what happened. They had this whole debate, and what's everyone talking about? What I've been talking about. President Trump said he's already chosen his running mate. Who's it going to be? Who's he picked?
I've said, I think he was the right president at the right time. I agree with a lot of his policies, but his way is not my way. I don't have vengeance. I don't have vendettas. I don't take things personally. For me, it's very much about no drama, no whining, and getting results and getting them done. So I don't think that President Trump is the right president to go forward. I think it's time for a new generational leader that's going to go and make America...
Okay, now I want to say this about this new generational leader. Okay, I know she's not a millennial. She's my age, but this is something that started with millennials and the Gen Zs. They think that anyone who's older than them has no right to have any opinion because they're going to be on Earth longer than they will be. You hear that? First time I heard this was the Parkland kids. My opinion matters. I'm going to be on this planet after you're dead. Well, there's been people born since I've been talking. Coming back from the break, should they be running the place? You know, the thing about this is really weird. It's very Logan's Run, right? Very Logan's Run here. They're too old. They have no right. With age, now Biden's an exception because he's had a life of vice and he's out of it. Plus, he's corrupt. Even if he was with it, he'd be corrupt. But he's got cognitive decline. With age comes wisdom when it comes to decision making, and everything you've seen with both of these jokers in that CNN debate last night, which was really a mock debate of just meaningless platitudes and jokes that fell flat. Even with an audience packed with their supporters, they weren't getting laughs too much. You know, you've got two people that are inexperienced that are running for president for the same reason Biden went to Washington, to get rich. To get rich. That's it. That's why they're in politics. And Nikki Haley will say whatever she's paid to say. Ron DeSantis was opposed to U.S. involvement in Ukraine. One donor, Tucker Carlson exposed this, one donor who donated to Ron DeSantis' campaign who was for U.S. involvement got DeSantis to change his opinion. Both of these people are for sale. They're just like Joe Biden. That's a fact. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian.
Yes.
Hey, hello. It's Nick from Boston.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah, great show, by the way. I love your podcast.
Thank you.
The free show in the morning. And I love the cat, too. You know, I hate to pull a Richie on you, but there's something else that happened. There's been a coup in Poland.
Oh.
And there's been a communist takeover, and they're arresting all the opposition party leaders and censoring taking over the press and everything. So that's happening there. So I just wanted to throw that in. You know, and to the Gen Z millennials, our father used to say, "I was what you are. I am what you'll be." Meaning they're going to get old too.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I remember when I was young, there used to be all these youth panel shows. And when I was a kid or a teenager, I was, oh, yeah, okay. And now I realize how stupid it is. Who cares what teenagers think on some panel? Who cares what college kids, you know? Now, Charlie Kirk does some good work at the colleges, but, you know, who cares what kids think at college? When they start paying their own phone bill, their own cell phone bill, and their own car payments and stuff, and they understand what the world is about, then I'm interested.
But the thing about it is, when I was a teenager, and honest to God, I put my hand up to God, I read a lot. And
yeah.
I was aware of things. These kids aren't aware of anything. They just have an opinion, and they follow along, and they think, it's okay to have an opinion, but have some facts behind that opinion. Do some research.
Well, I really don't. I believe that the original the original way that you had to vote in this country was a pretty smart one, and that was you had to have skin in the game. And the founding fathers understood that if you didn't have skin in the game, that you would vote to take away whatever the haves have and redistribute it to yourself. the have-nots, and that's what's going on right now in our society.
Yeah, worse. But you know, as so far as the vice presidential pick, I'm a Flynn guy as well.
Well, your sister called in earlier, so you're both. We'll give Flynn twice, but he's big in your household. But I'm not. I have no problems with Flynn. I just don't think that's a realistic choice.
Yeah, but
that's a wish list choice.
He knows where all the bodies are buried. That's why they don't want him.
That's true. That's true.
Hey.
All right, Nick, I got to run. All right, I got to run. We'll be right back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting.
Holy smokes.
Directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now.
You know, I'm conserving my energy because I'm fine and filled with energy, but I've been up. I'm not sure what time. But I've been up since probably 12:30, and I don't want to run out of gas in the last hour of the show, and we're not quite halfway through. So during the breaks, I'm just conserving my energy a little bit. Because if I run out of gas in the last hour, it'll make the last hour really difficult. Are you kidding me? Okay, good.
Jersey Mike from West Palm Beach. Hey, Mike. But let me say something. I went to Jupiter Joe's. He spent an hour and 20 minutes with me in front of his desk going over all of my assets and advising me. And I'll tell you, that man is very thorough, and he really knows what he's talking about. He has given me some really great advice that I hadn't considered prior to that meeting, and I think that's going to help my life up very, very much.
Call Joe Thomas for your free phone consultation and a free copy of his book, The Retirement Note.
Because I am a little tired. Because I didn't get much sleep. Only got a couple hours sleep.
Online, JupiterJoe.com.
I went to bed early last night. Luckily. I think I looked at the clock and thought it was 2:30, but it was 12:30, and I got out of bed.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours where there's big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now in Boca and Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs.
Well, Gnome's in first place. She has 3 votes.
And their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less.
I probably looked at the clock. What I usually do is if I wake up, I look at the clock on the cable box, and the time that I like to get up at the latest is 2:30, and I probably saw the 2:30 and thought it was 2:30, and it was 12:30. So I think I've been up since 12:30.
Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Redwood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now in Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs number is 954-90.
So I got to conserve my energy during the breaks. You guys calling in would help get me through the show too. I got more than half of the show to get through. I got a lot to talk about, a lot of topics, but I don't want to run out of gas.
Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and any the world.
All right, coming up on 21 minutes after the hour, welcome back. Huge announcement from Mike Lindell. The MyPillow 2.0 with temperature-regulating technology is 50% off and free shipping with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. That MyPillow 2.0, I've been sleeping on mine for a year. It is amazing. It keeps your head, your face, your neck, the perfect temperature all night long. It comes in both king and queen size. And you can choose the fill level if you like it soft, medium, if you like it really firm. And there's another size, too. I can't remember what the other fill level is off the top of my head. But 50% off and free shipping on the MyPillow 2.0 with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order over the phone, 1-800-716-4879. Mike Lindell's office called me yesterday, his assistant, about this. And told me that the free shipping offer is for a very limited time and wouldn't give me the end date on it, but it is for a limited time. It will end without notice. 50% off free shipping with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay. Hello, yeah, this is Dave in Virginia.
Hey, Dave, what's up?
Yeah, I'm going to have to put my vote down for Noam also.
Okay, that's 3 for Noam.
I think she's a good choice. Yeah.
What makes her a good choice? I like her too, but what has she done that makes you say she's a good choice? And do you think that her being really good looking for a politician, for a governor, has something to do with her being in first place, or is there something I don't know? I like her. I just don't know why. That's four votes for Kristi Noem.
Yeah, I think because she did run South Dakota pretty good, and she is right now putting her, she's behind Trump.
Yes.
Right now, so I have to give her that, and I think she would help bring in a lot of the women votes.
Well, the female vote, if what they're saying is true, that a lot of conservative women are not happy with some of the abortion restrictions, and President Trump seems to think that's the case too, bringing in a woman would be a good idea.
Yeah. That's what I believe.
All right. Appreciate the call from Virginia. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Hey, PJ.
Yeah, I got my voice. My morning voice came back after 3 weeks.
Well, okay. I don't know what that means. What happened?
Well, I know that's why I haven't called, because my voice had like a lingering cold.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't working in the morning.
All right.
Anyway, you know what's interesting in all of our lines here is a person that nobody mentioned, because she like has probably less than 0 chance at this point, is Nikki Haley. That's off the list.
Oh my goodness! You want me to put her down on the list? You're picking Nikki Haley. He said. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I don't want to put her on a list. I'm just saying it's just interesting because a couple of weeks ago everybody was worried that she might be chosen. Now that worries.
Oh, yeah. Well, the question is, because Trump said last night he's already chosen his running mate. So who do you think it is? Dead air. Did you lose your voice again? I think he muted his phone. Uh-oh, PJ. He muted his phone. Lost his voice. Now he's lost his connection. All right, now I want to play another clip from the Fox News town hall with President Trump last night. And this one's very important. And it's a DeSantis voter in Iowa who gets up and asks a question. I'm going to play this in its entirety, and then I'm going to share with you in particular why I played this. This is the Fox News town hall with President Trump last night, all right?
Let's hear from Jane Jack, who is a teacher from Rhodes, Iowa. Jane, thank you so much for being here. And you said that you plan to caucus for DeSantis, but you're not completely decided. Is that right?
No, I am firmly, I will be caucusing for DeSantis.
What a jerk she is. And she's very firm about it. Why? But but anyway, that's, I said I was going to play it uninterrupted, so I guess I was wrong.
Much for being here. And you said that you plan to caucus for DeSantis, but you're not completely decided. Is that right?
No, I am firmly, I will be caucusing for DeSantis. But I will say, Mr. President, I am extremely grateful that in your first term, you accomplished so many great things, but it was also with the help of many great people. Since that time, you have publicly criticized and personally demeaned so many of them. If you're given 4 more years, how will you convince good people to take the risk of working with you?
So I have a lot of people that want to work with me. I have people calling just as I'm getting on the stage. I had a call from two of the very most important people in the military who want to come to work for me. Everybody wants to come to work for us. We're going to have no trouble. We had great people. We had a couple that were not great, stiffs, as I would call them. But that's true with anybody. But now I've gotten to know Washington. I've gotten to know the people. I know the best. I know the smart ones, the dumb ones, the weak ones, the strong ones. And I think you're going to see something like you've never seen before. And the people in this room know it. We did an amazing job. And the reason, we have support is because of the job we did. Now, you like Ron DeSantis, but he wouldn't even be around today. He'd be working in a pizza shop or perhaps a law firm if I didn't endorse him. I endorsed him, took him from nothing to winning an election. And I was all for him. And then one day he said he'd run against me 4 years later after I got him in. And I said, that's not a loyal person. We can't have that. That's not a loyal person. So I think you'll be very impressed with what we're going to do. We're going to have the greatest economy in the world, which we don't right now. We have horrible, horrible inflation. And, you're never going to get that 30% down. You might even it, but you're not going to get it down. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, now I want to tell you why I played that particular moment, because that's not the most exciting or eventful thing, right? And it sounds kind of dry. Why would I play something that's dry? And I have a very clear reason why I played what sounds to be kind of like a dry moment in the town hall with President Trump on Fox last night is this. This is a snotty lady that got up, that Martha McCallum called on, a snotty lady. She about her DeSantis support. And then she says, I am not undecided. I am, And you hear how nice President Trump was? He didn't say anything about her. Talked about DeSantis in particular. That speech that Biden gave in Valley Forge last week on Friday, declaring all MAGA people domestic terrorists in this country, all you hear from the Democrats, and even some of these Republicans against Trump, okay, all you hear from the left and the never-Trumpers is how MAGA people are, MAGA voters, MAGA Americans are terrorists, hate mongers, homophobes, racist, Islamophobe. They attack us more than they attack him, really. I mean, he's going through these legal attacks, don't misunderstand me, but they attack. You never hear President Trump say a negative word about a voter, ever. Even a snotty woman like this. Right? You never hear President Trump say a negative word about a voter. And that's amazing, isn't it? And that's a really cool thing about him. He took it right. He had this snot of a woman. I wonder if she's married, if she is, or divorced. Her poor husband. Unless they're divorced, then, he's lucky. But he could have very easily taken a jab or two at her. That wasn't, and he didn't. Because President Trump never demeans the American people. Always goes after these politicians, but never the American people. And I think that's one of the great qualities about him through his entire time since he came down the escalator. And he doesn't get recognized for that too much. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Yes. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. That is most definitely a great quality of President Trump's. You never hear him attack voters, ever. Ever. PJ's texting me. I've known PJ for years. I've known him for like 20 years. Okay. Did you forward me that email?
Yes.
Okay, because I will forget. Yeah, he does not attack the voters. And I think that's a really cool thing about him. I really do. where is everyone located? Like, what city, state, or if you're outside the United States, what country are you in? You know, I've noticed, Deborah, thank you so much. You know, one of the great things about President Trump, he has united this country and the English-speaking world like no one has ever done. He is the most uniting politician in the history of the world. He really is. Maine, Massachusetts, Miramar, that's here in Florida, guys. Miramar is where the Miami Dolphins Stadium is. New York City, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Crosby, Texas, Boynton Beach. I drove through Boynton Beach on the way here. South Central Pennsylvania, Traverse City, Michigan, Parma, Ohio, Richmond, Indiana, Wyoming, Central Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico. We've taken 2 of our cruises to Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico. St. Augustine. St. Augustine, the oldest city in America. That's right, Plantation, Florida. I used to live in Plantation. Toledo, Ohio, Maryland, Dallas, Texas. Isn't that amazing? Georgia, South Carolina, Northern Nevada, Hammond, Louisiana, Arizona, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Bay Area, California, Space Coast, Washington State, Space Coast here in Florida. That's where Cape Kennedy is. Chicago, Colorado, Middleburg, Florida, South Mississippi, Albany, New York, Florida, Michigan, North Carolina, Michigan, now VA, Central Virginia, Central California, the Villages, St. Augustine, more St. Augustine, Belvedere, West Palm Beach, Mooresville, North Carolina, Kenosha, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Tulsa, Oklahoma, oh my goodness, Dixon, Illinois, the hometown of Ronald Reagan, that's right. Used to live in Neptune Beach. Opelika, Alabama, Manahawkin, New Jersey, some of these names are getting hard, Northern Kentucky, Port Orange, Florida, Austin, Texas, North Carolina, St. Augustine, more in St. Augustine, Southampton in the UK, all right, Cincinnati, Macon, Georgia. Plano, Texas, Noble, Oklahoma, Maryville, Tennessee, Cyprus, wow, Queens, New York, Brooklyn, New York, You're trying to move to Florida. Cool. What part of Florida, Lisa? Ohio, Forsyth, Georgia, North Carolina, New York, Dayton, Ohio, Martin County, South Carolina, North Carolina, Fort Erie, Canada, Bloomington, Illinois, Tennessee, North Carolina, Savannah, Georgia. Oh my goodness. Make sure you guys are all subscribed to the channel and like the video. St. Louis, Missouri. Two Egg, Florida. I've never heard of Two Egg, Florida. No. Hampton Roads, Virginia. Northfield, Minnesota. Wow. We're nationwide, baby. Nationwide. I've never heard of Two Egg, Florida. I sense a joke coming. That can't be a real place. Got to be a joke. Now, we're coming back after this. Here we go.
Celebrating 47 years on the air.
That's right, and this, of course, is where MAGA comes to talk. We're covering a lot of things. If you're on hold, stand by. A couple things. President Trump in the town hall last night on Fox says he has chosen his running mate. He's already picked who they are. He gave no hints. And I'm asking you all, who do you think he has picked? I don't want your wish list. Who do you think he has actually picked? So far, Kristi Noem is in first place with 4 votes. We have Stefanik, Noem, J.D. Vance, Devin Nunes, General Flynn. General Flynn in second place with 2 votes from the same household. Before I go to the calls, I want to mention this. This stunt with Hunter Biden yesterday, 2 things about it. Unfortunately, the great Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't get a chance to have her time with Hunter in the audience. I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. If you missed my interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene, you guys need to go back and listen to that interview. That was, let me tell you, it's a great one. I got her autographed book That's right. My wife ordered her book autographed by her during the interview. But anyway, I was a little disappointed in the other Republicans because when Hunter came in the audience, what my immediate response would be, Chairman Comer, someone get a Bible, let's swear that guy in and start, and see what happens. But he had two guys with him. One obviously was the lawyer in the suit that buys his art. And the other guy, I didn't know who the other guy was. The scummy guy next to Hunter that needed a shave. Did you see that guy who thought everything was funny? And then he would look over at Hunter and laugh. And I'm like, who is this scummy guy? Is he his sponsor from one of his treatment programs? Was he in rehab with him? Is he his dealer? Is he his pimp? Who is this scummy guy? And everyone was talking about the lawyer, but no one was talking about the scummy guy. And I was reading an article this morning. The scummy guy, whose name I can't remember, but it's not important. The scummy guy that was sitting to Hunter's right. By the way, anyone that's hanging around with Hunter is scummy. They may not look like it, but they're scummy. No matter if they're wearing a suit and clean shaven. But the scummy guy next to him on his right is making a documentary film about Hunter Biden. So everything that happened yesterday, you know what that was? It was a scene for the documentary. That guy's making the documentary. They brought him in, and they got all the news footage. It was a scene for the Hunter Biden documentary that his scummy friend that thinks everything is funny was making. That's what the whole thing was about yesterday. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Okay. First of all, I guess he's going to definitely take Christine Noem. I think he would have taken Matt Gaetz if he was from Florida.
Well, remember, you said he's already picked, so you think he has already picked Noem.
No, I think, like I said, he would have picked Matt Gaetz, but Matt Gaetz is from Florida, so he can't pick him. So
yeah.
Take Christine Noem.
Well, now she's in fifth. Now she's in first place with 5 votes.
Oh yeah. You just mentioned something about how President Trump never picks on anybody.
The voters.
The voters, yeah. It's funny. Did you hear that woman who was testifying in Congress, and the congressman nicely asked her, the American people are worried about Joe Biden's cognitive abilities. He can't even speak on a teleprompter.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? And she responds, oh, you must be listening to too much of Fox News. I've been back with President Trump, and we have much more intelligent conversations than we're having here. Let it go. He let it go, man. I was hoping he was going to say, so we're not supposed to believe our eyes or our ears, and wasn't Joe Biden said to be the dumbest senator in Congress?
Yeah.
Let it go. But,
Yeah, President Trump said that Ted Kennedy told him Joe Biden was the dumbest, right? That's what it was. Yeah.
Exactly. But the politicians, some of them were smart, like President Trump, and known not to ever pick on anybody who could be a voter for them or not. So,
well, and it's just decent. See, the Democrats view the American people as the enemy. And that's what you see. And every time they're talking, they're calling us racist, homophobes, terrorists. And you never hear President Trump say a negative word about the American people or individuals, voters. He just doesn't do it. And I think that's an incredible quality of his that I don't think people even realize it, really.
And I had one thing. When you had your show the other day about CNN picking President Trump as the winner by the Electoral College,
yep.
I took a picture of that and sent it to some of the liberals. They're going nuts. They can't believe that they think fake news. They said fake news is from CNN. That's fake news.
Yep.
Finally, they got something right.
That's right.
I said it's the election of President Trump, but the rejection of President Biden.
Yeah, I like it. All right, Doug, take care. Good to hear from you. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Vicki from South Carolina.
Hey, Vicki.
Okay, my pick is going to really blow your mind, but I like Ben Carson.
Okay.
But I'm sure that the American public wants a woman.
Well, Ben Carson, the thing with Ben Carson, everybody likes Ben Carson, but he has zero personality. Ben Carson is low energy, but do you remember how he became famous in politics?
No.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful. Obviously, he's a celebrity because he separated those conjoined twins, and they made a movie about him. Do you know who played Ben Carson in the movie? Who played Dr. Ben Carson?
No.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr., who, I don't know why we say Cuba. It looks like Cuba to me, but Cuba Gooding Jr. played Ben Carson. It was called The Man with Gifted Hands. Yeah, which really, yeah. But it was about, but Ben Carson got famous in politics. He was at an event, a breakfast where President Obama was at while he was president, and he was chosen because of his surgical fame to give like the speech at the breakfast, and he ripped Obama about Obamacare while he was standing next to Obama. And Obama was sitting there and had to listen to the whole thing because of the format. And it was one of the first online viral videos. And people have forgotten about that. And it was beautiful. And Obama was sitting there grinning, but he was pissed. And Ben Carson's got a lot of guts. It was not, what he did at that time was not a popular thing to do. And that was a really amazing thing. So Ben Carson is a gutsy guy.
Well, it actually affected his patients and the system of the medical professions.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is, you're right about how he never attacks the voters.
Never.
He's relying on us to make our own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else, even in the Republican Party, condemns us.
Well, the Democrats and the Uniparty and the Republican establishment hate the American people. We're in their way.
Yeah, and they don't want to listen. They don't want to answer your letters. They don't want to do anything.
Unless you're a big donor.
And that's not the point.
If you're a big donor, they'll listen to you.
But President Trump writes you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He'll write you back.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, I got a Christmas card from President Trump once at my house. I don't know if I've talked about that. Yeah, I know. I got like a real personal one. I mean, like the real deal one. Hey, listen, I got to run for the break, but I appreciate the call. All right? We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you today, bro?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us today?
Well, estate planning is, of course, one of the key areas of law that we do at the Siegel Law Group. But for those people out there listening, whether you're driving your car, you're playing this in the background while you're working, or whatever the situation may be, before this spot came on, you probably weren't thinking about estate planning. You probably weren't thinking about, I got to plan for end-of-life issues or disability issues or make sure I don't leave a mess behind. It just probably wasn't at the top of your mind at that moment, and it normally isn't. It's one of those things that people think, I should do this, I should get around to that. It's not in their must level of thinking. And so when I talk to you guys this morning and other times, first of all, I want you to understand the importance of getting your estate plan done, making sure that your assets go to the right people, making sure that you have a disability plan, making sure that you're not going to run out of money during your lifetime, making sure you make all the right decisions, the right people get everything. But then also, of course, I would like those of you who are thinking about getting this done to consider giving the Siegel Law Group the opportunity to have that conversation with you, because we do have the experience. We have been doing this a long time. We do have processes in place to help you make sure that your estate plan is going to work, not just today, but down the road at the time you need it, with our updating systems, with our bloodline planning, with dealing with the elder law side of it to protect your assets during your lifetime. So we'd like the opportunity to have the conversation with you to help protect you and your family.
Yeah, and not only is it a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group, if you mention that you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, but if you already have your estate plan, a will or a trust that was done by another attorney, another law firm, the Siegel Law Group at no charge will review that, okay? And that's amazing. And how often, by the way, Barry, I always forget, how often should people have their estate plan reviewed?
Well, we review our clients' estate plans every 3 years for free, and I'd suggest that people do that, and of course we do that for our clients for free, and anybody who comes in that's not an existing client and they have an estate plan, whether they have no estate plan, which is an estate plan, that's the rules of intestacy under the statute, whether they have a will, whether they have a trust, whether it was done here in Florida or outside of Florida, we will review it and let you know what it is you have, how things are set up, things, if any, that we might recommend that you change or update, and then you'll be armed with the...
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that's how we met Attorney Barry Siegel. Steve had an estate plan done, and he, like a lot of people do, he got it done, he put it in the safe deposit box, and then he was talking to a financial planner, and they said, you should have that reviewed, and you reviewed Steve's, and it had all kinds of problems with it, because what happens is life changes, right? There's divorces, there's remarriages, there's grandchildren born that weren't in the picture before, maybe you bought new property, there's all kinds of things.
So, and Steve has brought this up, and he said it's okay to, and you've even brought it up too. Steve even had trustees named in his trust that weren't even living in.
Yeah, they were dead. Rick Siderman, a radio talk show, is dead. I'm Steve's trustee. I'm a trustee on many, many trusts. I'm a trustee person. Steve's trustee was dead. So what would have happened, because there wasn't a secondary trustee, what would have happened to that trust that was out of date, by the way, with a dead trustee? What would have happened?
Well, typically the documents would have some sort of mechanism for choosing the next trustee.
Yeah.
So we just have to look at it.
Yeah, but these are things that are important. All right, so listen, let me give you the number. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help you. 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And if you missed the number, just go to the website, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel will finish out the week tomorrow.
Thank you.
Back after this.
Now the Steve Kane Show is on the...
All right, we're back. 48 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Okay, so President Trump in this town hall last night on Fox, I thought the town hall was very good, and Martha McCallum and Brett Baer, I think, did an okay job. I think Martha McCallum's biggest concern about anything that's town hall or any moment she's on TV is hiding the age of her neck. I feel bad for, I really do in a way. I feel bad for Martha McCallum, and I don't say this to make fun of her, but she's a good-looking woman, TV woman, and she's always looked younger than she is, but then the neck caught up with her. And I can tell every time I don't watch Fox often, so I don't see Martha McCallum too much. And it seems like every time I see Martha McCallum, it's been a couple of months, and she's doing something else to try to hide her neck. Sometimes she's just letting the neck bare all, but then the other time she's wearing scarves. I feel bad for the lady. But President Trump, he brought this up. Well, there's a lot of young girls coming up at Fox. She's probably worried, President Trump brought this up. This is a very important point, and this is an amazing thing. Let me play this. This is President Trump in the town hall last night on Fox.
It's not sustainable for our country. We have millions and millions of people here. It is not sustainable. Did you see in New York City where they're getting the regular students out and they're putting migrants in their place? We are going to have the largest deportation effort in the history of our country. We're bringing everybody back to where they came from. We have no choice. We have no choice.
Okay, a few things on this. Now, first, I just want to mention that high school in New York, which is appalling, right? They took the kids out of school to put the illegals in there. People that are coming here across the border illegally don't have all the vaccinations and inoculations that we Americans all have. And things like measles that we have virtually wiped out in America, they spring up all the time. And having these illegals in a New York City public school like that is not good health-wise. On top of just it's wrong in general. But you can have breakouts of all kinds of things that we've rid our society of pretty much. And it's not unusual in areas where they take the illegals to have chickenpox and measles outbreaks and who knows what else. But what President Trump is talking about, this deportation, and you heard the clapping, that's amazing. The debate last night, whenever there's a debate, this was a town hall, whenever there's a debate, the candidates each get tickets. And then they fill up the seats with their supporters and donors and stuff. So the claps are not organic, right? In this town hall, that was a Fox News audience, that Fox News picked the audience, and there was clapping for President Trump throughout. And, that deportation, in the past, that would have been a controversial statement. But it's going to happen, and he's the only one that's going to do it. It makes me physically ill when I hear any politician talking about fixing our broken immigration system. It's not broken. There's a system there. They just don't use it. And President Trump did. And what he did was absolutely amazing. That remain in Mexico. Who would have thought that he would have the Mexican government send the Mexican army to guard their northern border, our southern border like that? That was, and what did he do? He does all these things. The presidency is more powerful than people realize. This country is incredibly powerful. And what makes us the most powerful country in the world is not our military, it's our financial strength. We are the number one largest economy in the world, which is really amazing. We had 8 years of Obama wrecking it, 4 years of wonderful times with President Trump's first term, and now we've had 3 years of this senile, corrupt old coot with his junkie son wrecking the economy, but we're still the largest and best economy in the world. And the foreign aid that we provide to all these third world pits of garbage, the reason we do that is so that we can use that foreign aid to bend them to our will. And that's what President Trump did in his first term, and he'll do it again. Like he got the NATO members to start paying because he was going to cut them off. And he did the same thing in Latin America, threatening to cut off the foreign aid. He got France through taxation, to do things. So he'll take care of everything. But the deportation in this country, there was a time when the American people would not put up with it. And when he goes to do this in his second term, the liberal media, oh boy, the liberal media are going to go nuts over this. They're going to talk about the internment camps. They're going to talk about the Holocaust. They're going to talk about everything else. This is not the same. In the Holocaust, which, by the way, was the Nazis are liberals, okay? Socialists. They're National Socialist, okay? National Socialist. They call themselves Democratic Socialist here now, but National Socialist. The original name for the Nazis was the National Socialist Workers' Party. They didn't want to sound commie. They dropped workers. But they call them Nazis, not National Socialists, because they don't want socialism connected to the Nazis. But what the Nazis were doing, they weren't deporting foreigners. They were deporting citizens of their country. You're no longer German. You're no longer French. You're no longer Italian, whatever. You're no longer Polish. They were deporting citizens of those countries, including their own. The internment of Americans of Japanese descent, which really was not the wrong thing to do, it was the right thing to do. But that was the Democrat Party that did that. And Michelle Malkin wrote a book that is very hard to find. And I read this book, and then, gosh darn it, I spilled a bottle of water on it, and the pages turned to concrete, and I had to throw it away. I should buy another one. The Case for Internment. And she starts at Pearl Harbor. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but the internment of the Japanese was the right thing to do, and I'll tell you why quickly. There are two things from Michelle Malkin's book, and you guys, if you can find that book, it's probably a penny on Amazon or something. The Case for Internment, Michelle Malkin. It's her most important book. One of the Japanese Zeros that attacked Pearl Harbor did not get shot down over Pearl Harbor. It crashed on a nearby island where there was a macadamia nut plantation. It was owned by an American family, and all of the workers on the macadamia nut farm were Americans of Japanese descent. Right? This Japanese Zero, he just bombed Pearl Harbor, he crashed on the macadamia nut farm. The Japanese Americans, the Americans of Japanese descent that worked on the farm, not only helped the pilot, okay, they took the American family hostage, helped him contact a Jap submarine. While they were waiting for the Jap sub, they burned down the macadamia nut plantation in the family home, and he escaped on a Japanese submarine. Then it was found out that the Japanese had social clubs throughout America and were communicating through these Japanese social clubs throughout America actions to the Japanese government and military and such. So the internment, don't let anybody tell you that was the wrong thing to do. Internment of Americans of Japanese descent was but the Democrats did it. So when President Trump starts the deportation of illegals in this country, it's going to be a very difficult thing, even for him to do, because he's going to have the media against him. He's going to have the Democrats against him. You see how these terrorist supporters are shutting down bridges and stuff now? What do you think they're going to do when they start deporting illegals? Oh, it's going to be brutal. But you know, the American people are going to be behind this. The vast majority of the American people are going to support the deportation of illegals. And it's not going to be easy. And it's not going to be pleasant. But it has to be done. And it should be done. You know, we got our cruise. I point this out. We got our cruise April 27th on the Celebrity Beyond. We're going to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. I cannot get on the ship without my passport. Right? You can't get on the ship. You cannot get on the ship without a passport. And we're just going there for the day. Do some shopping, have some fun, have some drinks and a meal, and we still need our documents. And there's who cares? It's fine. No one cares. That's the way it is. Unless you're coming into the United States, and the Democrats have opened up the entire border. And the Democrats, they know that the majority of the American people agree that the deportations have to happen. The border has to be shut down. They agree. They know. They know that the American people, the majority of them, agree with that. They don't care because, like I was talking earlier, the permanent Washington class, the liberals in the Uniparty, hate the American people. They believe the American people are in their way from accomplishing what they want, which is power. The power, you may say they care about money more. To steal the money from Ukraine funding, they have to be in power. All right? So I thought that is absolutely amazing, and that he got applause. Now, we're going to take our break at the top of the hour. When we come back, we'll get back to our calls at 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Don't forget, huge announcement from Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow, the Thomas Edison of sleep. The MyPillow 2.0 with temperature-regulating technology, 50% off and free shipping. This is just for a very limited time. 50% off and free shipping when you use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. 50% off and free shipping for a limited time offer. I've been sleeping on that MyPillow 2.0 for a year. You will love it. It will change the way you sleep. You will absolutely love it. 50% off and free shipping with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll break for the top of the hour and be back.
WWNN Pompano Beach. True Oldies Traffic Check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. It's showtime in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC. Check out the exciting 2024
I may not agree with her on a lot.
shows like Yellow Brick Road, a tribute to Elton John on January 20th, Portrait of Aretha, Chris McDonald's Valentine's Day Dinner, the Neil Diamond Experience, and Patty Nix. Plus, comedians Harlan Williams, Joe DeVito, Adam Carolla, and Pauly Shore in April. For a full schedule and ticket information, visit bbkennelclub.com.
Okay, someone told me the crown is the button on the side, so let me see if I can get my EKG done on the phone. Someone
Who
just...
would be in the running for vice president?
Okay, hold on. We'll do that coming out.
Who would be in the
EKG.
running for vice president?
Okay. I'm taking my EKG. Someone just told me how to do it. The EKG does not show signs of arterial fibrillation, although the Apple Watch cannot check for signs of heart attacks. Okay, that's great. And my heart is beating at 88 beats per minute. Or it's arterial fibrillation. I've been up a long time. I'm tired. I'm starting to get loopy. All right. That's amazing. Be coming back shortly, guys. All right. 25 seconds. All right, the third hour has begun. My name is Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Okay, so before I get into new stuff, just recapping. President Trump in his Fox News town hall last night said he's already chosen his running mate. So I've been asking people to call in, who do you think he has chosen? Not who you would like him to choose. Who do you think he has chosen? And the names that have come up so far, Stefanik, Noam, J.D. Vance, Devin Nunes, General Flynn, and Ben Carson. And in first place is Noam with 5. And the other ones are less than that, so I'm not going to go through them all. But Rabbi David called in with what I think was the most accurate guess of all. That today, when it comes to that debate last night and the town hall with Trump, everyone's going to be talking about the town hall with Trump. And what Trump said, what everyone's going to talk about on every program today is, who do you think he's picked to be his running mate? He said he already picked his running mate. Who's going to be? So Rabbi David's theory is he's picked no one, and he's trolling the media. And I think Rabbi David's is probably the most accurate because everyone, including me, have been talking about it all day. That's the brilliance of Trump. So Nikki Haley, listen to this. This is just, I really think Nikki Haley has got to be the dumbest person ever to run for president of the United States at this level. I mean, I'm sure there's been some third-party lunatics, but I'm talking about a major party candidate. The things she says, I mean, they're as dumb as Biden. Listen to this.
Hillary Clinton is actually the reason, I may not agree with her on a lot of things, but she is actually the reason that I made the jump. And so then I had to figure out whether I was Republican or Democrat. So,
wow. So she was inspired to get in politics by Mrs. Clinton. Let me tell you about Hillary Clinton. She's also a very stupid person. I remember when Bill first became president, because he was from Arkansas, you know, these snobs in the media, they always talked about she was the brains, not Bill Clinton. It was the opposite, okay? He's the brains of that family. Maybe not anymore. He looks like, you know, pretty out of it these days. But when he was president, he was the brains, not her. But who was inspired by Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton's a terrible person. She's a terrible person. You know, what she has done to herself as a woman and what she put her child, Chelsea, through is really some twisted stuff. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. She has known that Bill Clinton was having sex with any woman that would have sex with him. She knows about the rape allegations from Juanita Jones long before we knew about these people. You know, from Paula Jones, from Juanita Broderick, and everybody in between. Remember the hairdresser who was the first woman that came out that had an affair with Jennifer Flowers? Remember Jennifer Flowers? You know, she knew about all that stuff for years, and she allowed herself to be a wife who was cheated on because all she cared about was elevating herself. And she allowed her daughter to be put through that when she came along, just so she could personally elevate herself. And when a woman would come forward and say they were raped or sexually assaulted or abused in some way by her husband, what would Hillary do? She would go on a mission to destroy the life of that woman. And when Bill Clinton was running for president the first time is when Jennifer Flowers came out. And then there were others that came out along the way. And they put together a team. It was a 3-person team to deal with the women who were coming forward talking about abuse and affairs with Bill Clinton. It was made up of James Carville, who was his campaign advisor, George Stephanopoulos, who was his campaign spokesperson, and Hillary Clinton. The 3 of them. It was a small unit. Hillary Clinton, George Stephanopoulos, and James Carville. And the 3 of them would decide how to destroy the lives of women who had been sexually assaulted, used, or abused by Hillary Clinton's husband. And that's where they came up with that term that is still used today, bimbo eruption. Remember that? The bimbo eruption? Hillary Clinton came up with all that stuff. The harassment that Kathleen Willey went through. Was it Kathleen Willey or Juanita Broderick whose cat was killed? I can't remember which one. And there's many other things. That's Hillary Clinton. And everyone knows about this. So who's inspired by a scummy woman like that to do anything? Apparently Nikki Haley. You know, and then after all this stuff was public, she stood by Bill Clinton to this day. Hillary, to be inspired by Hillary Clinton is really a scummy thing. And it's interesting what Nikki Haley says here at the end. Okay, let me go back to it. Let me play this again.
Hillary Clinton is actually the reason, I may not agree with her on a lot of things, but she is actually the reason that I made the jump. And so then I had to figure out whether I was Republican or Democrat. So
she had to figure out whether she was Democrat or Republican. Now, a lot of people that are Republicans used to be Democrats, right? Ronald Reagan was a Democrat, became a Republican. President Trump was a Democrat, became a Republican. And that's not an unusual thing. You know, why do you think someone goes from Democrat to Republican? Okay? And in Donald Trump's case, you know, if you're born in New York City, when you're born, they cut the umbilical cord and they give you a Democrat voter registration. That has something to do with it. But the reason that people become Republicans that used to be Democrats is they've grown up. You know, they've grown up. They've matured. They see the world properly. How many people are Democrats that used to be Republican? Not very many. And the few I've known about were never Republicans. But what's Nikki Haley? She said, Nikki Haley says, I was inspired by Hillary Clinton. Then I had to decide whether or not I was a Democrat or a Republican. So what does that mean? What that means is she decided to go into politics, just like Joe Biden did, to get rich, to make money, to be a corrupt public official. So she had to decide which party could she advance in the most. So why did she pick the Republicans over the Democrats? Maybe they were more popular at the time in South Carolina, or maybe they were doing some casting for women or non-white women. I don't know. But it's not cute, it's not funny, and it tells you everything you need to know, not just about Nikki Haley, but DeSantis as well, with these cookie-cutter establishment, permanent political people. They stand for nothing other than enriching themselves. Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley are no different than Biden. They aspire to be Biden. Nikki's further ahead than DeSantis. They get into politics to get rich, to make money. She got her $8 million. I don't know how much of that she's blown through. With a lavish lifestyle, I'm sure she has. But she wants to increase that. DeSantis would like to get to that $8 million. He didn't make it. He got $1.5 million for his book, and that's all he's going to get. But they all want to be like Joe Biden. And I think this conversation that Nikki Haley had is really it's a confession that she went into politics. She was inspired by a crook, Hillary Clinton, and then she had to decide whether she was a Republican or a Democrat because, you know, that's which one can I profit the most in? It's insane. She stands for nothing. And on this VP list, her name is never going to be on it. Not with Trump. All right, we'll take our first break of the third hour and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
All right, here we go.
With Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere.
All right, 17 minutes after the hour. It's Thursday. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Another bad weather day in Florida. The weather has really been bad, hasn't it? It's just awful. All right, now listen, it's a new year. If you're suffering with aches and pains, you don't have to. Go see Dr. Appleton and take advantage of his laser away pain treatment. That laser away pain treatment works, guys. It's completely painless. There are no injections, no drugs, no downtime, no surgery. He's rid me of pain 5 times. It works on so many different types of pain: arthritis, bursitis, strains and sprains, work injuries, sports injuries, repetitive motion injuries, post-surgical swelling, neck injuries, back injuries, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, rotary tears, herniated disc, acute pain, chronic pain, and many more. If you've been told you need surgery, go see Dr. Appleton first. What do you got to lose? I don't know anyone that's had surgery because their knee hurt or shoulder pain, and they got that surgery and said, my pain's gone. They always tell me, oh no, I've got my next surgery scheduled. Forget that. Go see Dr. Appleton. The laser away pain treatment works. I'm here to tell you. Walk-ins are welcome. Appointments never needed, even on Saturdays. Give Dr. Appleton a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, so let me play this hot mic thing with Chris Christie that everyone's talking about.
People don't want to hear it, Wayne. They don't want to hear it. We know we're right, but they don't want to hear it. Right. And there's, we couldn't have been any clearer. Right. We couldn't have been any more direct or worked any harder. So,
Forget she spent $68 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you get land in China and places like that.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah.
I mean, look, she spent $16 million so far, just on TV. Spent $16 million so far. $59 million by DeSantis. And we spent 12.
Yeah.
I mean, who's punching above their weight and who's getting a return on their investment, And she's going to get smoked. And you and I both know it. She's not up to this.
She hasn't even been.
She's still 20 points behind Trump in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's still going to carry out, right?
Yes. I talked to DeSantis, called me petrified that I would.
He's probably getting out of that for Iowa.
Okay. So that's the hot mic thing. And I got a little different take on this than anyone else. I don't believe anything about this. First of all, the hot mic thing. He was mic'd up. He knew he was being mic'd up. And what happened with this is, when you're getting... This was I think it was a town hall event he was going to do in New Hampshire. They mic you up, you have conversations before, and whoever was running the control room hit the pot up, they got the recording out and released it. This is what I don't believe about it. I don't believe that DeSantis called him in a panic. I think Chris Christie made that whole thing up to impress the people. I think it's like that Epstein list where all these sex workers and these weirdos are just naming off the names of celebrities that they want people to think that they're connected with. This thing that came out recently. I'm not talking about Epstein in general, but I'm talking about these latest bombshells. George Lucas, give me a break, But I think Chris Christie was just trying to sound like he's connected. Why in God's name would Ron DeSantis call up Chris Christie, from the way Chris Christie describes it, in tears, in a panic about something because it got cut off and we didn't hear the end of the sentence? I don't buy any of that. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that Ron DeSantis is not in a panic. Don't misunderstand me. But why would he confide that in Chris Christie? I don't believe it. Now, if he did, we're not going to get a confirmation from Ron DeSantis. But if Ron DeSantis did, that would show collusion. I don't believe it. I think he was just saying things to try to impress the people that he was talking to, Chris Christie. Chris Christie is a jerk. He's not a likable guy. He's got all kinds of ego issues. He's going through right now a humiliation. You know, Vivek Ramaswamy wasn't in the debate not because he didn't qualify. He didn't want to qualify. He's his largest campaign contributor. Okay, he's a billionaire. If he wanted to be in that debate last night, he could have been. He just, he didn't want to be. Chris Christie's out. Okay, he's dealing with the humiliation. I don't believe Ron DeSantis called him like that. I'm not saying they didn't have a conversation. Most people that tell lies, there's a shred of truth to it. Okay, and then they embellish. But I don't think he called him in a panic. Why would DeSantis do that? It makes no sense. Plus, he was dealing with the state of the state. When did he have time for it? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mike in Boca.
Hey, Mike.
I did watch last night's town hall meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was the best town hall meeting I've seen since he was out of office.
Really? Why do you say that?
He was in total control. Not for what he said, but how he did it. Because all these people that Fox has been interviewing for the last 30 years, they're all like that. How we know, our audience knows, your audience knows that they're like a dead man walking. So they're not going to be the nominee.
Well, I'll tell you what I thought about that town hall. It was different than you would normally see Trump. He's running a campaign in a completely different way than he ever has before.
Yes.
His tone was different.
It was a very serious tone.
Yeah.
Those Iowans are going to get him. He's going to get Iowa come Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, Nikki Haley she's been doing this for months. The last 4 weeks, she's basically pretty much in a coffin right now because of all these crazy, weird things she's been saying.
Well, for the first time, Nikki, I got to let you go, Mike, because the connection's bad, but thank you for the call, and you made some good points. Nikki Haley is dealing with something that she's never dealt with before. Rejection and humiliation publicly. She has breezed through everything, okay, in her political career until this. And like Ron DeSantis, she betrayed Trump. She said she wouldn't run against him. Now she is. DeSantis betrayed Trump and us here in Florida who voted for him. She betrayed Trump. Okay? And they got the Bushes and the Paul Ryans and the Romneys whispering in their ears, convincing them of all these different things. And like Ron DeSantis, she messed up. She really did. Now they're pushing. They want her to be vice president or secretary of something. I don't know. I hope none of that happens. Because, if President Trump does not put Nikki Haley in the cabinet, she's going to have to find a way to make a living in the future. Ron DeSantis at least can practice law or something, but what's she going to do? And both Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley have had very charmed political lives, and their egos got away with them. They thought they were more popular. Neither of them realized they were on Trump's coattails. And what happened with DeSantis, I saw him when we had that event at Wings Plus with him before the betrayal. And when he came into the room, everybody stood up and they were going nuts. I was one of them. And when everywhere you go, people are giving you standing ovations and telling you we love you and you're the greatest, all of a sudden that can go to someone's head. And that's happened with both of these jokers, and they're out now. And for people to face rejection for the first time in their life is not easy. Any of you guys ever been dumped by a girl? I have, on the air. That was awful. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Terry from Florida.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, what's up? Hey, tell me something. How much money do Trump have to pay because of that rape charge you got? I'm gonna tell you something, Terry. Okay,
and you're not going to take any of this in, and you're going to act like you don't care. Yeah, but you're going to no. I excuse me. I am being serious with you. What you were doing, you're a chronic caller. You call pretty much every day. That's okay. Chronic callers can be useful. But you're calling in with the ugliest of slanders. You did yesterday. You're doing it again today. And I don't mind someone calling in and attacking Trump. I'll deal with that. But I'm not going to allow you to call in accusing President Trump of sexual crimes that are not true, like you've done 2 days in a row. So what I'm going to tell you is this. Now, I know you got to be all tough and butch and show off to all your buddies you got listening and everything else. But that's not. You're welcome to continue participating in the show, but you're not going to call in with slanderous sex crimes against President Trump anymore. And no. Did you hear what I said? Okay. Now think about that, and I'll talk to you next time if you can understand what I said. All right, we'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. Think you're gonna really? It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning.
You know what that Christie hot mic sounds like? What Trump said about DeSantis when DeSantis was losing and needed help.
Oh, yeah.
Crying, saying, hey,
yeah.
Can
you help me? It's like he's taken Trump's story and made it his own.
That's exactly what I think is
going
on.
Yeah.
He's thinking, oh, it worked for Trump, you know.
Yeah.
It was cool for Trump, let me try it.
Yep. Thank you, William. He's on the verge of being banned. It takes a lot to get banned on this show because we like liberals and stuff. I'm conserving my energy for the last 2 segments of the show because I'm fading fast here.
On the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve joining us a little late today. Hey, Steve.
I've got a question to help me with.
All right.
You were reading from the New York Post yesterday, well, actually it's today's Post now, about this, what they refer to as the gate crashing of Hunter Biden.
Yes.
The House Committee.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
I was talking about that earlier. Yeah.
I don't quite understand this. The headline says Hunter crashes House panel with troll show. Troll show. Troll show. I like that. And the headline goes on to state the stunt they're talking about.
Yeah.
Hunter's sideshow. Could sabotage Papa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Can you? Why is?
Well, I talked about this earlier in the show, but I'll tell you about the whole thing because no one knows other than me and Hunter Biden and his scummy friends what happened yesterday. Okay, and this is the deal. All right, this is the deal. When I saw that yesterday, I couldn't figure out what was going on at first. What I was I was a little ticked off at the Republicans, frankly, when Hunter walked in, because of the way they handled it. Marjorie Taylor Greene was about to do it right, and then Hunter ran out of the room like a girl. But what I would like to have seen them do is say, he's here, Chairman Comer, someone get a Bible, let's swear him in and start asking questions, even though he's in the audience. They didn't do that, so I was a little disappointed. But I was looking, I was wondering who these guys were, and they all identified the scummy guy in the suit as an attorney who bought his art, right? But I was more interested in who was this scummy guy sitting next to him. There was this really scummy guy sitting on Hunter Biden's right. He was unshaven, and he looked really scummy. And every time a congressman talked, he would look at Hunter and laugh. And I was wondering, who is this guy? My first thought was, well, maybe he's his sponsor from one of his addiction groups. Maybe he knows this guy from rehab. Maybe he's his dealer. Maybe he's his pimp. And I couldn't figure who is this guy. And everyone's talking all day about the lawyer on the left that bought the art, and nobody identified the guy. And then I read an article this morning. And they identified him. And I can't remember his name, but it's not important. The guy that was sitting to Hunter's right, and by the way, they're all scum. Anyone who associates with Hunter Biden is scum, right? Okay, I mean, that's just a given, in any capacity whatsoever. The guy that was sitting to his right, the scummy guy, the scummy-looking guy, is making a documentary film about Hunter. So that whole event yesterday, what we saw was a scene from the upcoming documentary. The guy's making the documentary. He's the documentary filmmaker, the director of the movie. So the whole event was a stunt just to have a scene in the Hunter Biden documentary.
My question is, how does that stunt, we'll use the Post word, how does that stunt endanger Joe?
It doesn't. I think it made the Republicans look stupid on the committee. They should have just started asking him questions as opposed to arguing amongst themselves. Can a woman talk here? Are Republican women allowed to talk? I think it made the Republicans, I think it made the Comer look bad, made him look weak yesterday. They didn't know what to do.
didn't do anything to endanger
No.
your Biden.
No. It didn't do anything to anybody.
Well,
it was just a moment.
Get its act together.
Well, there. Yeah, I mean that, but that's my thoughts on it.
Aspects.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Fortunately, not true.
All right, well, we got some people on hold. Some of them been on hold quite some time. So let's go. Our number 1-888 go Kane 1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How are you guys, Steve and Brian? The saying that Nikki Haley came out with her admiration for Hillary Clinton.
She said Hillary Clinton was her inspiration to get into politics.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, she's sharing that with us. This is absolutely absurd.
And I'll tell you something. If she would have said, she's my age, okay? So when I met the Clintons twice. The first time I met them was at the Marriott Harbor Beach on Fort Lauderdale Beach before he was president. No, that was when she was first lady. That's when she was first lady. I was at a party that the Young Democrats of Broward County had, and the Clintons were there. I didn't know who they were, and everybody was making a big deal about them. It was at the pool at the Marriott Harbor Beach on Fort Lauderdale Beach, outside by the beach. And I remember everybody was just making a big deal about these two. And I said, who's that? And they said, that's the governor of Arkansas. I said, who cares about the governor of Arkansas? Little did I know, I just was there to meet girls and the free drinks. But, well, I was like 19 years old, 18 years old, and, Democrat. Yeah, exactly. And except I wasn't married at the time. Okay, I was a young man, and, free drinks, Marriott Harbor Beach, sounds pretty good, and Democrat girls are, back then are easy. Now they're all gay or trans. You got no luck, guys, in those circles. But anyway, it's one thing for Nikki Haley to say, when I was young, I didn't know any better. I saw Hillary, I thought she was great. I didn't realize what a scumbucket she was. I didn't realize what a criminal she was. This is the woman who sold 20% of America's uranium supply to Russia. So Russia's nuclear, as we're approaching nuclear war with Russia, the Russian nuclear missiles that are aimed towards NATO targets and the United States are armed with American uranium that Mrs. Clinton gave to them. So if Nikki Haley would have said, I was young and I didn't know what was going on, I thought she was an inspiration, now I realize she's a traitor and scum, but she's bragging like she's still her role model, Mrs. Clinton.
We're funding, our political leaders are funding our worst enemies. I mean, being funded by basically Joe Biden's policies. We got Hillary Clinton with uranium to Russia. I mean, people got to be aware of this stuff. But her comments yesterday concerning Hillary Clinton were actually dumber than the Civil War comments. We shouldn't even mention slavery.
Yeah, she's a dumb person.
Political thinking.
This is, I tell you this time and time again, and I know people don't like this. When Barack Obama got elected in 2008, the Republican Party went into a panic and started promoting non-white people to higher positions. She was and she was one of them. Nikki Haley is a Republican establishment affirmative action quota, and what you see with Nikki Haley is textbook example of why affirmative action is bad news. Unqualified, incompetent, stupid people get elevated to places like, look at Gay from Harvard. She couldn't even write a paper. She had to steal other people's work. That's what it gets.
They changed affirmative action to DEI.
Yeah.
Same program,
Yeah.
The other thing, I see Chris Christie comes out at his conference and he says, "I now see no path from you to win to be on the ticket to be the president." And what is he thinking about? Is this guy in total delusion?
Yeah.
Honest to goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I think he wanted to get the CNN job as a contributor. To think that he actually had a chance to get the nomination?
No.
Pathetic. He's pathetic.
He is pathetic.
They're all pathetic. Some of them are more pathetic than others.
But you know what? But what troubled me the most is having to watch President Trump share the stage with Martha McCallum and Brett Baer, two backstabbers, and yet he did a terrific job. He's got everybody talking about his VP nomination, who is going to be in that, and he stole the show from them. But I hated to see those two on the same stage with.
Yeah, and I want to tell you something. Another thing about Hillary, and she's, with Hillary, Benghazi. Hillary Clinton had one moment in her life where she had to make decisions. She got her friend killed. Chris Stevens was her friend. She got him killed. She couldn't even be reached by phone.
And these people have had such a dominant role in the politics of this country for decades and decades, and look at the damage.
That's right. You okay, Steve? You're all choked up. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Carla, and I agree with the woman that called in. Hey, General Flynn.
For VP? You think that's who? Wait a minute. Let me clarify the question here. The question, President Trump said last night he's chosen his running mate. So I've been asking people, I asked people earlier to call in with who they think he chose, not their wish list. You think he's chosen General Flynn?
I do, because when he announced that he was going to run for president again, he told General Flynn, keep yourself healthy. We've got...
Okay, well, I got to tell you, only Flynn and Noam have gotten more than one vote from the calls earlier. Flynn has 3 votes, Noam has 5. Everybody else has 1. But I don't think Flynn's a realistic choice to be his vice president. Plus, Flynn, President Trump, didn't he fire Flynn because he lied to Pence? And I saw him on an interview. I saw him on an interview saying he liked him, he didn't want to fire him, but he lied to the vice president. He can't do that. I had to let him go. I remember. Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Do you believe that Pence didn't?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it in so long, so I can't give you like an informed, educated decision on that answer to that question. But President Trump, but hold on. But I heard President Trump say he lied to the vice president. You can't do that. He had to go. About General Flynn. I have no problems with General Flynn. Don't misunderstand me. But I'm talking about who, if we're talking about seriously who he's chosen already. See, I don't think he's chosen anyone. I think what he did is he said something that he knows would have the entire media talking about the town hall, because President Trump is a marketing genius and knows how to command that. So everyone in the media are going to be talking about this town hall and this moment last night, as opposed to that debate. And it was another brilliant move of President Trump's. I don't think he's chosen anyone yet. I think he's got a list of prospects.
Let me also say this, okay, because the mainstream media is now calling Trump the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Didn't they call Reagan the Antichrist too?
They call all Republicans that are the Antichrist, yes, that are winning. All right, take care. We got to run. All right, we'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on the Steve Kane.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
Metal's looking good, actually. We gave it a little bit pulled back yesterday, but recovering nicely this morning. Gold closing yesterday down $4.70 at $2,024.10 the ounce. Silver was down 6 cents at $22.89, while platinum lost $12 at $918, and palladium gained $22 at $984. This morning we've seen gold pretty much in a trading range of between $225 to about $240, and right now gold's at $2,031, up $6.90. Silver up 11 cents at $23. Platinum up $6 at $924 the ounce, and palladium gaining $8 at $992. So gold holding nicely, and anything in that $2,020 range to $2,030 range still.
Yeah, and I want to tell people that if because sometimes people might say, well, over $2,000 an ounce, I can't. There's fractional gold, and some of the mints, like the American mint with the American Gold Eagle, there's not just ounce coins, 1 ounce, there's half ounce, quarter ounce, and 1/10 ounce. And think about this. If you get a quarter ounce of gold every month, which is very affordable, much less than an ounce, in 4 months, you'll have an ounce of gold. Or if you go the 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagle, you buy 1 a month, and in less than a year, you'll have an ounce of gold. That's pretty amazing, William Youngerman, when you think about it like that. So there's gold for everyone's budget.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, when it comes to the fractional gold, are the Gold Eagles, the American Gold Eagle, the best to go for, or is there something else that you would recommend?
Oh, the Gold Eagles are great. I mean, there's other forms, too. There's the 10-ounce gold maple leaves. There's the Krugerrands. We have them all, and they're all, equally good values. It's just whatever has the least premium is what you want to really.
Yeah, that's right. So listen, give William Youngerman a call or stop in. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, and he's located on the first floor of the Bank of America building in Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. The address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. All right, William Youngerman will finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great.
Back after this.
Social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Big announcement. I got a call yesterday from Mike Lindell's office, Steve. This is for a very limited time. The MyPillow 2.0, which you need to get one, Steve. It'll change your life. The MyPillow 2.0 has the temperature regulating technology on it. You'll never turn the pillow over again looking for the cool side. Your head, your face, your neck are the perfect temperature all night long. And I've had this pillow for about a year, so I've had it during our winter months, our summer months. No matter what time of year, your head, your face, your neck are always the perfect temperature. And you can get the pillow in king or queen size. You can decide what fill level you want, soft, firm, and there's sizes, there's fill levels in between. It's 50% off and free shipping. 50% off and free shipping on the MyPillow 2.0 for a very limited time when you use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE. Good deal. You should get one, Steve. 50% off. You'll love it. I'm telling you. You've never. Do you like your pillows super firm or medium or soft? How do you? Medium.
Medium.
I like different ones, different days. So I have them all. Right. I have medium. I have the firm, and I switch off myself. But hey, when they're 50% off, I ordered 2 more this morning. All right, let's go back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, long time no hear.
Hey, hi, Steve. Hi, Brian. You've been talking about these politicians and their really stupid comments. That Democrat rep that made a comment in the Judiciary Committee, sexual innuendo on Trump, changing the word insurrection.
Oh, to erection?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that J. Powell?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She did that on purpose. These Democrat communists, they think they know how to manipulate the media and stuff, and so that's all I've been hearing about.
That congresswoman, that was J. Powell, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen J. Powell? When's the last time she had to worry about that kind of thing?
Kind of thing.
All right, I think, okay, there we go. That's true, yeah. Fine. I think it was a slip of the tongue. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning, you're on the air. Sounds like you.
Okay, how you doing?
I'll let you know at the end of the call.
Okay, I already know who the vice president's going to be. I've known for the past 2 years.
You're psychic?
Well, we're hanging in your every word. Who is it?
No, I'm not psychic. It's just that...
Are you high? No. Drunk? Intoxicated?
I'm actually calling... I'm calling from safety of another country.
Oh, so you're calling from the lunatic asylum? No. Why would people... All right, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Man. Yeah, the slurring of the words. Oh, my goodness. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Ugh.
Mel from Boca.
Hey, Mel.
What's up, Mel?
Been a long time. Hey, nothing much, Steve. Good morning.
So I'm going to pick, and I think the lady about a half hour ago picked Ben Carson, which I've been thinking about him.
For vice, you think President Trump has chosen Ben Carson as vice president already?
If you go by the theory that you believe that, hang on 1 second. Let me just make one comment fast, and then I'll throw it back to you. If you go by the theory that the vice president and his role is more to be background wallpaper, Ben Carson is a good pick because he's not going to be stealing much attention from what's
smart.
Exactly. So that makes sense. But I don't know that Trump doesn't want to be a little bolder than Ben Carson. Because Ben is, and he's a wonderful man, but he's dull.
Listen, I think I know who is more likely than anyone that's been mentioned, but we're never going to know. But I don't usually talk about who the vice presidential picks are going to be. I'll do this disclaimer again, because people that do it, typically it's a time killer on programs, and we're not doing that for a time killer today. The vice presidential pick of President Trump's is more important. For the first time, the vice presidency is important because President Trump only has one term left, okay? And so whoever the vice president is about 98% walk-in to the nomination to be the second MAGA president. So we got to pay more attention to it than we normally would. I don't think he's chosen. I think he did that last night to troll the media because he knows how to command the news cycle. Everyone's talking about him in the town hall. No one's going to be talking about the debate except CNN, because CNN hosted the debate, so they got to talk about it. But nobody watches CNN. Everyone else.
Campaign?
Yeah. So him saying, that's right. So him saying he's chosen his running mate already is a perfect troll for the media. He's taken over the news cycle, which is awesome. But I think probably at the top of the list is Greg Abbott, because Greg Abbott, the number one thing that Trump has to deal with is the border and the deportations. And what Greg Abbott is doing at the border and everything else is brilliant. He's got a lot of experience there, and I think he's at the top of the list to be Trump's vice president.
That's fascinating. I didn't think of him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Out in Colorado, who didn't make it as, I think she ran for senator. I forget her name now.
You're talking about
the
blonde? I'm not sure you're talking about. No, it's not going to be someone. It's not going to be a loser. It's not going to be someone who's lost something.
She's got a great. She's been to all the Trump rallies, and not all of them, but most of them, and she's always a prominent figure.
No, I don't know. But I'll tell you another thing about Greg Abbott. What Greg Abbott has done is amazing. He's got blacks in Chicago. He's got blacks in New York supporting Trump's position on the border. Who would have thought? I mean, what Greg Abbott's done, I remember when Greg Abbott sent the first buses of illegals, he sent them to be dropped off in front of Kamala's vice presidential house. And I remember the liberal media laughing at him, saying, 30, 40 people, who cares? Ha ha ha. Here we are a year or two later, and Greg Abbott has turned the strongest Democrats in this country in favor of Trump's border policies. And he knows how to handle the border, how to handle deportations. He knows it in and out because of his experience in Texas. And I think the reason he would be at the top of the list to be Trump's second vice president is Trump could put him in charge of the southern border as a real border czar and get it done, and the deportation. So I think Ben Carson doesn't have enough energy to run anything. I think he's just tired.
I think he come across that way, but I think the people in America see his intellect, his courage, what he's overcome. He's black.
Being black is not something to overcome, Mel. I mean,
Well,
White is what you
he's white.
Yeah, exactly. He's overcome. Yeah.
Overcome a lot because he started life in a tough place. And he's a very courageous guy, and I think he would be a terrific pick.
All right. Take care. All right. Sorry, Mel. Didn't mean to give you a hard time, but I didn't get any. I did something so ridiculous this morning, Steve. I got up and did everything. Was all ready and did all my show prep, got all ready, and then I looked at the clock and it was 2:34 in the morning. Oh my gosh, yeah. I like to wake up at 2:30, and I wake up, I look at the clock. I got up at 12:30 in the morning, but I didn't see the 1. I saw the 2 and the 30. I got up and I didn't check the time. I just got up, and I was up late last night because of the town hall and everything. So I got about 2 hours sleep. But I think I've done all right for 2 hours of sleep, because those 2 hours are well rested with all my MyPillow stuff, But just suffice it to say, I'm glad we're approaching the end of the show today, because I'm starting to run out of gas, quite honestly, after 2 hours of sleep and then coming here and doing the 3-hour show. It happens. But yeah, so I think, Trump's greatest skill set is the command of the media narrative, and that's what he's done with his town hall last night. Yeah, people don't remember what it used to be like. Before Trump came down the escalator, Republicans never controlled the news cycle. We were always responding to the liberals.
Think about what's occurred in the last week or so is you've seen a prototype of both what Trump's campaign is going to be.
Yeah.
So what Biden's campaign is going to be.
Yeah.
With Trump, he's just going to be talking about what he has done, what he has done, what he has done.
Yes.
Others are just talking about what they hope to do, maybe if it works out.
Yeah. And Biden can't talk about what he's done because it's all been so bad. Brought us to the verge of nuclear war, inflation.
What's done is so impressive.
Yeah.
All the key areas that people are concerned with.
That's right.
I just hope Biden's the candidate.
Oh, he will be. He will be. Now, listen, we're out of time for today. Now, tomorrow's Friday. Remember, Friday is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, tomorrow's show, you can call in about any and everything you have on your mind. You're not limited to the topics that Steve and I bring up, okay? So that's tomorrow. We don't call it Open Phone Friday. That was Rush's thing. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. All right, everyone, have a great day. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.3 HD3.
All right, guys, it's off to home and a little bit of sleep at some point. Make sure you subscribe and like the video before you go, guys.